Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and Brink, and we are one. Today, I want to talk about the mini docks that I have. We got dongle docks. We got just regular docking docks that you can dock your Steam Deck in. Yeah, so this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. I've been testing these docks out, and honestly, there's a lot of them that are the same. There is just one or two things that you need to know before you buy one. So I'm going to give you 3 recommendations out of all the docks and dongles that I have, so that you can make the right decision what's right for you. And honestly, there is a right and a wrong answer here, especially if you have a case. So make sure to watch the whole video and to just see maybe some of the reasons why I chose what I chose. So before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Now, do you enjoy the Gordon Freeman goatee or whatever this is? Okay, starting up, there is honestly 2 docks that are going to be good for you. One, this is honestly, I think, the best one. The official docking station from Valve. And this one's great because it can support 2 monitors and then supports everything else all these other docks support. Plus, easy firmware upgrades. I've given my say on this in the past. I really do like this dock, but it's not good if you have a case because you're going to have to take that case off every time. Now, if you have the JSOX case right here, the one with the kickstand in the back, this is not actually very compatible at all with stands. The problem is this thing's really fat right here. If you put it into, one of these docks, there's only 1 or 2 docks that it will work with okay, and then the rest, it's going to sit on top and be kind of a risk. So just to go through the docks that I kind of have, I have the official one right here. And then I have this kind of off-brand one that's from Fun-A-Lot, and it's not even branded anywhere. It's a clone, I believe, meaning I think this is the brand that copied JSOX, or at least from the manufacturing side of it, copied it. It is different than their docks. So you can see right here that there's just a little bit of a design difference, but it does have the side Ethernet, and it has the same ports and everything. But if we're going to go off that as like a copy or steal concept, then honestly, the iVolar right here, which is my favorite if you need a case, is the copy, except for, it is kind of. You got the Ethernet on the back instead of the side, which is nice. So then you also, like I said, had the JSOX one right here. Very similar to that off-brand Fun-A-Lot one. And then you have the hard drive versions, which this one supports an M.2 drive right here if we open this up. So you can put an M.2 drive in there to expand your storage. With this comes the added script you have to apply. Until Valve supports auto mounting of additional drives, you need to go into your desktop mode and do it, or use an auto mounting script. There's just additional steps to get that one to work. It's not like a plug and play. And then you have these bad boys right here. I have the Cellor and then the Anchor one. And there's additional ones. Just don't cheap out too much on a dongle dock. Personally, you can run into issues. These do power delivery. You just want to be very careful with power delivery and power with anything, as shortages and stuff like that can happen. Now, there's these are good for traveling, and there's some other reasons why they're kind of my favorite, the dongle dock. Now, if you want something that's going to stabilize your deck and doesn't have a stand, because if you have a stand, then you could probably just get away with the dongle dock. But if you need something that's going to stabilize, or you're not going to use traveling and it's just going to be at the TV, then honestly, this is your go-to if you have a case. The iVolar is the best one so far in my testing and everything for people that want to keep their case on and not take their case off. It will fit all the cases that I have, including the kill switch one. But the kill switch technically works with works with other ones, and that's thanks to the little bump at the bottom. These little bumps, little protrusions right here in the rubber, actually help grip onto the docks, weirdly enough. The JSOX one does not. This right here, that actually adds more, which is unfortunate. So out of all those docks, the one, like, the off-brand one isn't too bad. but because of that whole situation, I can't really recommend it. But it isn't bad, and also you gotta like, this is another big part. So the connector piece right here, and we can compare it with the Steam Deck's version. This one right here will support cases. This one does not. The official docking station from Valve does not. So let's put this into some groups right now, because there's about 3 or 4 choices technically. If you have an LG screen, or if you don't want any hassle. Now, once again, the only one I've actually had issues with my Vizio TV was actually the official docking station. Even after updating, I couldn't get it to work sometimes. That's the only one I've had issues with so far. But if you want the least hassle and firmware updates and all that kind of almost automatic, you're going to want to go with this. This is my top pick for anyone that doesn't mind taking off their case or doesn't have a case and wants to support multiple outputs. So if you're using this for your desktop, if you're going to put it right here, you're going to have 2 monitors. This is the go-to. This is the best one for that. So for people that want multi-monitor support or multi-TV support, or don't want the hassle of updating firmware, which honestly, like I said, I haven't had issues with these other ones yet. So it might not ever need to be an issue. It's never really been an issue when I've used these types of hubs before in the past. So that is the advice I give for that one. It's good, but not best technically, in the sense of if it fits everyone's needs. If it fit with cases and all that, I'd actually probably give it number 1, but none of these are going to be number 1. They're all going to be what you need kind of cases. The iVolar is going to be the one that you want to choose if you have a case. You don't want to take it off. You want it to almost work with every case that I've tried. It's worked with. It's got a much better, like a much wider holder to it. The USB piece also does support the extra, essentially, girth that the Steam Deck case adds, so that this works. And then it has all of its ports on the back, so you don't have anything coming from the side. That's one of the downsides to these other case docks, is that you'll have if you're going to use the Ethernet, you're going to have a cord coming from the side, which can kind of look a little bit more ugly. This is all coming from the back. It's really stable. Yeah, the JSOX one, the old one, has had some issues in the past with firmware and all that. It's just one that, like, this version, I don't think I could recommend to you, but I haven't had issues with it. It's been the one that I've noticed have more issues than these other. It's not a bad one, but like I said, the official docking station, the iVolar, and then that's case-wise. And then if you want some extra storage, this thing right here, the JSOX M.2 drive bay version, does have less USB, and it still has the Ethernet on the side, but it's got 2 USB instead of 3 or 4, and then it's got the HDMI. This is honestly a really cool one if you have a lot of games that you want to store on a fast drive. This is really good, and it does support some of the cases. Unfortunately, like with the JSOX one, their official case or whatever, it doesn't support it very well. It will kind of fit in it, but like I said, it could fall out potentially. For cases, pure and plain, iVolar. Then you have the 2 dongle docks that I mentioned. The Anchor one, which is really simple. It can support an SD card, micro and regular, HDMI, power delivery USB-C, and then also it has USB-C out, which I believe it can do both, and I could be wrong, so if someone wants to correct me in the comments, you can. I believe it does display out with this other USB-C. And then it has 2 USB 3.1s. This is my go-to probably still, and this is what I'll travel with more and more, because I have kickstands, I have stands for my deck. I don't really want to carry around a dock. I'll use these for my home entertainment system. So I'm going to have one at my computer, which is going to be the official Steam Deck one because it supports 2 monitors. Then I'm going to have one in 2 other locations, one being like a family living room, the other one being bedroom, and so I can play my deck wherever I want, if I want to on the big screen. So with that, you can if you also want something that's like a mix between this M.2 drive from JSOC's dock and a dongle dock, you can also choose this Solar, which I've also used. And you can use this script that you use for the JSOC's one on this one to get it to mount the hard drive. It also comes with honestly, it comes with more ports, except for it doesn't come with an Ethernet. So if you're wanting Ethernet and plugging in for that little bit boost in speed, which I don't really need it, I don't really use it, I use Wi-Fi, these are great, and they will travel really well, and they have some extra features. Like if you're a content creator or plan on taking photos and all that, like this SD card reader is awesome. And then I got this in the mail, Ugreen. It's this power adapter, this essentially power brick, right? That does USB-C out and also has a USB 3.1 right here out. It does 140 watts and it works really well with my MacBook and Steam Deck. I have a 16-inch MacBook that's 100 watt draw. Then with my Steam Deck, not plugged into anything else really, and charging, it pairs so well. I'm able to work on my MacBook, wait for things to compile or wait for things to load or whatever it is. And while I'm doing that, I'll play my Steam Deck and I can do this on the go and charge. So I can charge both at the same time, which is very useful, especially towards the end of the night. And I have used this multiple times, and I love the different options you get with it. So Ugreen did send this to me in the mail, and I'm loving it so far. And I just wanted to promote that this is a great power adapter. It might be a little much in the wattage for some of you. If you're just going to be using your dock and not much else, then this is going to be too much. Just use the official power adapter that comes with like your official Steam docking system, if that's the one you go with. If you go with one of these other ones, you might be able to get a better priced power adapter than this. But this one, if you want a power adapter that's going to last a good long while, at least from what I hear, I haven't tested lengthwise. I've only had it for about a month. But when it comes to what you can throw at this, if you want to charge a MacBook, if you want to be able to charge multiple devices and really just give it all the power you can, this thing is nice. And it honestly is not much bigger than what else I have. So I just had to throw a little bit of, this is an awesome product out there, Ugreen, and it pairs really well with some of these docking stations, especially if you have a docking station that's like hooked up to a capture card or something like that. It's nice to have this extra oomph of power to either you could use the this piece right here, the power USB-Cs to power the device directly, or if it has to be through the USB of the docking station, it should also work that way too. So, yep, I had to throw that out there. Yeah, with that, that's it. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'll catch you guys later. Check out my other videos, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Later.